6, this one may be over.
Yeah, it's just the first half, but that lead has swelled to the point where you're wondering if it is over already. It's good, and before you know it, it's 21-0.
It's the score, Cardinals 21, Vikings nothing.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Fielded in the end zone. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25.
25-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Looking here for Smith downfield. They've got his man complete.
And this offense needed something to try and seize the momentum a little bit. That might have been exactly what they needed. Now they have a chance to go downfield and score and cut into the lead.
Now a handoff here to his running back. He's got a first down and more inside the 30. And down to the 19-yard line. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first.
I have to admit, I'm excited by that play call and the end result because this is a team that's down big early in the first quarter, and a lot of teams will just panic, abandon the playbook, and just start firing the ball all over the place. It's way too early for that. Stick to what works for you.
Down double digits, and we talked about their game plan being both running and passing there. You're right. They're sticking to the game plan, getting the ground game going.
A lot of football left to be played.
And he will be out of bounds here on what will turn out to be the final play of this first quarter. Second quarter now from Minnesota. It's the Vikings in possession of the football as they go to work on a 1st and goal. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. Now that sends them 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down. Here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete. He was trying to find Justin Jefferson there, but now it's 3rd and goal. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and this shows on the scoreboard.
A big play forthcoming. Here's 3rd and goal. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Now they're staring at 4th down as Arizona's defense does its job.
Let's give this defense some credit now. They let the guys get downfield, but when push came to shove, they stood their ground. Now they'll likely force a field goal attempt.
And the 11-year veteran bangs it through. And the deficit drops now from 21 down to 18. So 3 drives now for this offense, and that field goal gives them their first 3 points.
So if you're an offensive coordinator and you're averaging a point a drive, you're in the wrong line of work, aren't question? You got to find a way to unlock the key to these defenses and put some big points on the board.
5-yard line.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Now they'll run it on the toss. And tough going there as he'll only get it up to about the 31. 5 yards on first down, but now just a 1-yard pickup there on 2nd.
We've called a lot of games, but we don't normally talk about inside linebackers being that fleet of foot, do we?
No, he was able to get outside there to make that play.
Yeah, and you know what makes them faster? Their ability to read plays, understand what offenses are trying to do, and put themselves in proper position.
From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Vikings will be backed up deep to begin their drive as they take over 1st and 10. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And this, let's face it, an important drive if they're going to get back into this ballgame.
Think about going into the locker room down 21-10 as opposed to 21-3. 21-10, a little more optimism, a little more bounce around the locker room, a little more discussion about how they're going to finish this thing off. 21-3. I think discouragement clouds that locker room.
Yeah, and I think a touchdown much bigger than a field goal on this drive just to get into the end zone and get that momentum. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. 11 yards there, 1st down. It's been a very one-sided game so far. They got to change what they're doing right now, don't they? You can't wait till the halftime speech to make an adjustment.
No, you can't, because if you're doing it right, you're adjusting from series to series, and they need a big adjustment here to try and put some points on the board.
First down past the 40 as he'll get this one out to the 44-yard line. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays.
10 at the 44-yard line.
Now we've got movement up front. And I think this is going to be on Minnesota. I'm jumping early from his tight end spot. Maybe trying to get a jump start on that route.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right about that. And oftentimes when you see that, that means the play call was supposed to come in his direction, and he was eager to go catch a pass.
And that movement again, and they'll march even further backward. You expect this from the visiting team when playing indoors, but not the home team.
They're supposed to get all the advantages, right? The home crowd's supposed to help them. They forgot where they were, perhaps.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Eluding the pressure right. Complete. Jefferson the target. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete.
To number 25.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back and it can turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
The passing game not in sync here early. And now it's 4th down.
Logan Cook.
On 4th down, on is Logan Cook to punt. And you can't do it much better than that. This ball kicked kicks out of bounds at the 4-yard line.
At their own 4-yard.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll work free from one tackle, but that's about all as he's taken down.
Tackle made. That is
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Brings up 2nd and 5.
Here's Murray as he sets to throw it. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he'll be brought down, it looks like, right at the 15. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
Throwing on first down is Murray. That ball complete to Isabella. And he'll take this across the 25 before going out of bounds. It's a gain of 11 and a Cardinal first down.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
Stepping up, now Murray has it stripped. And the Vikings pick up the football. Fighting his way through contact. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line. You think about it, Charles, this is not a quarterback that's used to running the football a lot. In that time, he was loose with it, had it knocked free.
He always has to think to himself that there's always going to be traffic around because of what you just said. Not that elusive, not going to get into the open field very often. Remember, he's not Lamar Jackson, not Michael Vick back in the day. Always has to protect the football because there's always going to be people around.
A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, first down. Now a timeout called for by the offense, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. It's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. 2nd down, ball on the 3. First down marker at the 1-yard line. Now a handoff looking right. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. And they'll burn the timeout with 5 seconds left. A chance to try to add 3 points before heading to the locker room. No move for the field goal unit. They're going to go here with 5 seconds left. They'll throw now on the final play. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. A 5-yard touchdown. And the Vikings are able to cut into that deficit. Until that late score here in the second quarter, they only had the field goal. So that's just big to see that football get into the end zone.
Yeah, when you look at the scoreboard now, nothing seems out of reach. They've been outplayed in the first half. But when the clock hits zeros as they head into the half, you know what I do as a head coach?
What?
I tell my team to sprint to the locker room to show that we've got the momentum and show that we're right back in this game.
Cardinals take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, throw the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
The Vikings set to receive the second half kickoff, and they trail it here as we resume play. Taken in the end zone. And no fireworks to start the half. This will be a touchback. They'll run on first down. McKinley, and he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
Flush to his right. And incomplete. He tried to leave it underneath, nearly got picked. They may be lucky to have that one back. Third down.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable, and that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
And he can't come up with a pick. Nearly his second of the game. Instead, fourth down.
He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over him.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
At their own 19-yard line.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look. Murray fighting, lost the football, and the Vikings pick up the football. And they are going to bring this one back. It's a fumble return, a scoop and score for the Vikings. This defense, Charles, they needed some type of a spark to help get them back in this game. I think they just got their spark.
No doubt about it. And you know, that's all they discussed. How can we get ourselves moving again? How can we get our team going? This definitely qualifies.
And he's got it. So the try for 2 successful. And with it, they're back within a field goal. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score.
Fielded in the end zone. And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return.
25-yard line.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And that last possession, really a gut punch. You seemingly had it working. You were in the midst of a very strong drive, then suddenly the fumble, and you're watching the back of a defender's jersey as he brings it all the way in the other direction.
There's not much more I can add to that. I thought you summarized it perfectly, partner. You just got to regroup and start putting another drive together. That's all you can do.
The Vikings after it, and they get there for the sack. Danny Shelton muscles his way in for the sack.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback third and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you're doing a big way, and what else do you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you because it seems to be working pretty well. And that's a really good job there defensively. They went into this possession knowing that they needed to get a stop. They're in a tight ball game, and they got it done. Great work to force the 3 and out. Got the football right back for their offense. They've got to go to the sidelines feeling pretty good about themselves and encouraging their offensive mates to get some points.
At their own 41-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they're coming off a 3 and out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's 2nd and 11. Now back to throw. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
Pressure, and down he goes. Chalk that up as their first sack in this game, and they tallied 4 a week ago.
And probably not as much exultation in that sack as what took us so long. Because when you get 4 the previous week, you're counting on continuing that momentum. They didn't get that done in the first half of the game. Let's see now if they start to bring even more exotic pressure towards the quarterback.
And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line.
At their own 23-yard line.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind.
A big seam, and he might go all the way. Touchdown, Cardinals. A great play there. 77 yards. And the Cardinals will extend their lead. And that run massively increased his production in this game, and now he's over 100 yards.
And break out your calculator, partner, because his yards per carry went up significantly, right? Big-time jaunt all the way to the end zone.
And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
On 1st down, McKinley, and he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Here's a 2nd and 7. Smith catches left side. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
4.
Out of the gun. They'll look to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Smith. And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver, where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch.
And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Vikings are able to make this a close game again.
I guess when you look back on it, it was just a matter of time until he popped a big one like that. And, you know, at halftime, you and I discussed it. They've done a nice job on him in the first half. But there were a couple of occasions where it felt like he might wiggle out of traffic and take it to the house. Finally here in the second half, that got done.
Taken in the end zone. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And they hit the home run last drive. One play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description because when we talk about hitting the home run, we're usually thinking about a passing play, aren't we? Something in the air, deep ball. But how about them just taking it big-time jaunt? Now if you're coming back out, now they've established this run game, the play-action pass could very well be open.
Exactly 50 yards on that last play as they just go from 125 to the other for 1st and 10. Going to give this time to the tailback. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. They follow up that gigantic gain with the tiniest of pickups, 1 yard. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Now they try the right side here. And he's going to be stopped just short of the 1st down marker at the Vikings' 15-yard line. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the fourth quarter.
And he is going to have a Cardinals first down, at least at first glance, as he'll spot the football just beyond the marker. They find a way to convert on 3rd and inches.
First down, Cardinals.
Both teams working on short rest, but this has been one of the better Thursday night games we've seen as they come up here on 1st and 10. Now a handoff looking right. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage.
Brought down right now.
Eric Kendricks in on the tackle.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10.
And here's Murray on the keeper.
And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. It's a loss of a yard, so it's back to 3rd and 10.
Well, they've had success on the ground on this drive, and that makes the defense more likely to overcommit to stop the run as they did on that play. But keep in mind, it makes them susceptible to play-action passes as well.
This is caught. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. That is first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a first down there. They come out with one back and 3 tight ends. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll take this one in for the Arizona touchdown. A great effort there. His 3rd touchdown of the game, his 8th on the year. And the Cardinals now adding on to their lead.
He is good.
And he's able to put it through.
The score, Cardinals 35, Vikings 25.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
Fielded in the end zone. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway.
And you figure after giving up that last touchdown, they trail by 2 scores here in the fourth quarter. This drive becomes very critical.
A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Defenses always talk about earning the right to rush the passer on 3rd down. And you know what offenses want? Win 1st down so they can set things up for themselves better.
And that wasn't helpful there. Not a big impact on 1st down. Incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them, and I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
That catch puts him over 70 yards receiving now as he's got a first down. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well.
6-yard line.
Back to throw again. And lucky to get away with one there. That one nearly picked. 2nd down.
Incomplete. It's 2nd down and 10.
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line.
Remember, throughout my career here in defensive coaches always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. Well, they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed.
This one brought in by Jefferson.
And he gets this only to the 44-yard line. Not near enough to keep the drive alive. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. And he's got his tight end, that's Smith. And he's taken down, but 10-yard line. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a first down.
The 10-yard line.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked up by Jamal Adams. Past the 10 to the 11-yard line, and that's where the return stops. Both defenses have had their struggles, but they've been good enough to get them this lead, and another nice play there to help preserve the lead.
It's been a game of punch-counter-punch, hasn't it? All throughout. But this time, the big swing was taken, and it didn't land. Nice play by them on defense.
The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down.
A gain of 4, and it's third down.
From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And he finally goes out of bounds across the opposite 40. A big play there on the option. 45 yards on the ground.
Arizona.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Now they try the right side here. And he'll be taken down at the 34. 2 yards that time. A stark contrast from the big chunk on the previous play. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college. And how about in the NFL? The miracle of the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
Down to a knee. Here's the Cardinals look to let the clock roll. So it's a win here for the Arizona Cardinals. And it was a game where they were off and running in the first quarter, Charles, and never looked back.
You know, partner, after a while, we always say the same thing, don't we? They set the tone early, right? They started fast. So I asked a few of my horse racing friends, do you have a term for me that we can use to cover that? And they said, yeah. When a horse breaks out like that, you say he caught a flyer out of the gate. And that's exactly what this team did today. I mean, they jumped out there, jumped on them, and were never headed.
So for Arizona, their good start continues as they get their record up to 4-2. And they'll have another road date next week with the Los Angeles Rams. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, the loss will move them back to 3-2 on the year. And they'll look to get back on track next week as they travel up to Detroit to take on the Lions.